Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I want to show you how I 10x this famous Muslim business owner's sales process over the past 3 to 4 months. Alhamdulillah, my name is Aman. I am the co-owner of the Muslim Sales Guys, where we help Muslim coaches, consultants, agencies, essentially any kind of service-based Muslim business online with their sales systems, their processes, their closing rate, their cash collected, their tracking, and then also we actually can help you with sourcing and finding quality Muslim setters and closers. Alhamdulillah, this is Fawaz, right? This is Fawaz from Fawaz Center.
I started to get sort of headache. You know when you start to feel overwhelmed or something?
One of the guys that we worked with, learned a lot from, alhamdulillah. I just wanted to ask you a few questions about the experience, some of the things you learned, and just an overview of the process that we went through while we were working together. So now, shit, let me know in the beginning, when we first started working together, kind of where the business was and what you were looking to solve, at the beginning, inshallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So my control was going well prior as well. Alhamdulillah, we were making sales. It was mainly due to people right in our surroundings, people that knew us very, very well. And essentially we wanted to streamline the process, wanted to grow the process. And alhamdulillah, we met each other in Morocco. Alhamdulillah, we spent some time together. And I remember still the day you looked at me across the table and he goes, we could just double the price. We could double the price of the offer, inshallah. Easily. And you looked at me with a bit of conviction in your eyes. So I was like, you know what? Khair, love to see it, man. The brothers are on it. So I think we were both a bit early at that time as well. So it was nice. Alhamdulillah, we got in, we got started, and the process, we just wanted to mind control to have less people in it, but obviously to make more revenue, right? So we could specialize the product because, till today I'm against just bulk selling the course. We want it to be something that provides value, of course. And alhamdulillah, you guys streamlined the process the exact way we wanted it. Walillah alhamd.
Alhamdulillah. So just for some context, it was an online info product, right?
Yeah.
And then basically we just came in, was able to double the price, and then add some things in the back end when it comes to fulfillment, of course, so they're getting the value, but also just put the process in place to have that conversation for the leads so they can convert at the higher asking price. No? What would you say is like one of the biggest things that you learned over the process of working together, from like before we started working together versus after we finished?
Yeah, there was a lot of things I learned, man. Alhamdulillah, like I said, I've never done it in this type of way, right? Every lead that ever came in, I just closed them myself, right? But I learned, of course, number one, the importance of the guys that are the ones selling your product, understanding the product and also believing in the product, right? The difference in closing rate when you guys then fully went and understood and watched the mind control program yourself and seen the value in it was completely different, right? The leads that we started, the closing rate was much higher, right? I believe it almost doubled at the time. So alhamdulillah, I think that was one of the key things I learned, and just communication as well, right? And one of the big things that you've done within the company that was most important for me was the data, all right? There's actually a quote by some Kafir, but it's a beautiful one. It says, "In God we trust, all others must bring data," right? And it's a beautiful thing, it's the truth, right? Anyone who wants to prove anything or to show anything or to be able to make a correct decision, like you always mentioned, right? Before we change anything, we have to view it from a data standpoint. Because let's say, for example, we have 100 sales calls booked, but there were 6 no-shows. But only one of the sales closers, he's the one that had all 6. So to him, it looks like, oh no, the no-show rate is high. But when we look at it from the data perspective, no, it's 6%. That's very, very low, actually. It's just you. A lot of your clients were no-showing, right? So, alhamdulillah, that was one of the beautiful things as well. And yeah, that was probably the biggest thing as well. And one thing I loved about you guys that we had the same sort of belief system on is we don't just grab the money. And this is the most important thing for me, right? It's not just if this guy can afford it, we're just going to take his money off him or we're going to force him into a call. It's we're going to benefit. And when we believe we can benefit, then we'll profit off him, right? So we'll profit after benefiting, not before.
Yeah, I'm actually happy you mentioned that because to me, that's like the biggest thing when it comes to the Islamic space, the Muslim space, is like, sure, we have all these things that we learn when it comes to manipulation or the sales process and things you can do and increasing the pain, whatever it is, but we're only doing that if the person can benefit from what we're selling. 100%.
And a lot of people would think that would decrease the money, right? Decrease the cash collected, but actually has the opposite effect, right? The leads are better, they actually succeed more, right? So you have a higher success rate in your program because it was only sold to the best people, which the higher success rate then is a bragging point, or it's a sort of a sales point for you, then a marketing point, which brings in even more leads, better leads, all right? So alhamdulillah, it works out well.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. That's something that was like, wasn't our intention when we first got into the space. Our intention was never like, okay, let's be honest so that 2 months down the line we can get some referrals. But alhamdulillah, that's what ended up happening, right? It's like, okay, we're gonna honesty, alhamdulillah, and then like you said, it becomes like a flywheel where people come in, they actually benefit, they realize you have their best interest in mind, and they might refer a friend, or they are able to leave a good review because of what they actually needed. Alhamdulillah, it brings more people in. Compared to when we started versus after we put the process in place, how much was that jump in terms of cash collected?
Oh, definitely over 10x. Definitely. Oh, I could probably say 20x comfortably, right? It was massive, massive change. Alhamdulillah. Till this day, the systems and the processes is what allows us to bring in so much cash per client as well. And everything, right? It's you can't just slap a price on something, right? It has to be balanced. The more you increase the price, there has to be something that balances off to show the client there's value. And it's all about being able to show the client the value of the program, right? And you guys were able to do that very well. And what I loved is, again, you don't just look after the sales process, right? You know, part of it, you're taking care of, like, you know, thinking for the onboarding, the customer service, how the clients are being taken care of as well, everything. So it's a full set process. You know, it's funny because we have guys in the program that after they finish the program, they still talk about the value and the benefit they got through the sales call alone, right? So alhamdulillah, it's a testimony. But yeah, the cash was ridiculous, right? Alhamdulillah, we've definitely done including all the upsells, etc., over 100K walillah alhamd in just a few months of working together.
Alhamdulillah, amazing. I didn't even know about the part of the brothers talking about they still got value from the sales call. That's
yeah. Alhamdulillah.
That's cool. Alhamdulillah. But okay, so last thing would just be if let's say there's a Muslim business, right, who has some kind of service or info product online that's interested in or looking into what we got going on or interested in working with us, what would you tell them?
Hey, wallahi al-azim, it's simple, right? It's very, very simple. I've worked with you guys for, like we mentioned, 7 months, and I don't feel you guys have ever brought me at one stage troubled or stressed, like, you know, other maybe sales guys we've worked with, etc. Everything was clean process, right? If there was a mistake, there's a full accountability and it's rectified very quickly. Before I can even point out, like, oh, what happened here? It's already been rectified, right? The transparency, everything. So, wallahi, honestly, I can say 100% yaqeen and 100% honesty, it was a pleasure to work with you guys, right? And it always is a pleasure, alhamdulillah. And it's more than just a business, it's become a family. We take care of each other in every area of the business, every area of the company, and our personal lives as well. The sales calls are a pleasure, right? It's not one of those meetings you tart when you see it on your calendar. It's very good and it's always benefit to come out of it. So, wallahi, if you have any bit of sense, inshallah, you're trying to grow your company, get more sales, increase, probably have to deal with less headache, definitely have to deal with less headache and get more money. It's a simple process, right? You get the Muslim sales guys. The difference, like I said, between you guys coming into the company and then prior to you guys coming into the company, wallahi, it's night and day, night and day. So alhamdulillah, I recommend you guys totally. I put my neck on the line even, as we say.
Bro, you mentioned family. You even came out to visit me. Allahumma barak.
Of course, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. You came to I came as well. I spent some time with you guys. Alhamdulillah, and it was lit, man. Walillah alhamd.
Nah, alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khair. I appreciate the kind words, and I make dua like wallahi. The thing about me is I love business. I love Muslims, right? And I'm only helping people that I genuinely believe in what they got going on. So it's like I still feel like a piece of me is inside. Like I'm still connected to the actual business. I'm like, yo, how are we doing? I'm saying that, and I'm thinking about all the different processes, not only the sales. So I pray that Allah gives you even more success, and us to be a means for you to, you know, make change in this life and in the next, inshallah.
Yeah.
Barakallah. Out there, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. As promised, here is the CTA. Before I even do that, I want to mention that in the previous video, alhamdulillah, those results that you saw was actually only done in 3 months. He has a cohort-based program So we only actually helped him sell for 3 months and we got him the results, alhamdulillah. Now the CTA is very simple. We actually don't even have a sales funnel, right? We just need you to DM us and let us know if you're interested. If you are on our YouTube, then we need you to press the booking below, inshallah, and book a call. We'll chat, we see if we can help. Honestly, we're not even going to try to sell you if we don't think we can help, bi'idhnillah. But if we do, we're going to follow up until you die. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.